Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we have a Jane Doe found in Bailey, Colorado, August 27th in 1972. Estimated age only 17 to 23 years old. Estimated PMI 2 years. Estimated year of death 1969 to 1971. 5'2" estimated. And she was found, well, there was heels, 1-inch heels, but in the woods, in the forest. And I can't see anybody being in the forest in 1-inch heels. And so they found some buttons, hoop earrings. It's just so sad. Somebody so young. So there's the list of what they found. 1-inch heel, size 6.5. And here's pictures of her shoes, the buttons, a hoop earring. Bailey, Colorado. And I couldn't find anybody missing in Colorado. And then I went looking in the nearby states, and you can see the places that are nearby. There's Cheyenne, Wyoming. And that's the thing. My son was murdered when he was 22 years old. And we had the funeral on his 23rd birthday because that's how it ended up being. And he was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which isn't far from there because that's where I lived when I was pregnant. And it was like one of the best times of my life, knowing that you're going to have a child and that you can pour your love and your heart into them. And it was wonderful. I was young when I had him. I taught him how to read, and he could read like a 5th grader when he was 5 years old. So here's this young girl, 17 to 23 years old, and her family has no idea what happened to her. And I couldn't find any missing case files for anybody in Colorado. And I didn't find anybody in Wyoming or Utah. So the closest person I could find was all the way in Omaha, Nebraska, and that's like 8.5 hours away. And she was 14 years old when she went missing. But it said her parents thought she had run away from home, but they don't know. She was 5'2". But this was 1972 when she went missing, and she had black hair. And this Jane Doe had brown hair, and her estimated PMI was between 1969 and 1971. So I really don't believe this is the Jane Doe. Black hair, brown eyes. But her Charlie Project is a very interesting read. And here's missing persons that I came up with so you can see the states that they were in, and you can pause this and look at it if you want to. It just seems like they're too far away, but I don't know if any of them were traveling by Greyhound bus or by plane or hitchhiking across the United States, or if they had run away. I just don't know because I didn't read each of them. But this young lady, I don't know how true this is. She was 14 years old when she went missing. When she was 12 years old, she was named as on a search warrant as an informant. So, and it talks about the National Committee to Combat Fascism. It says she was last seen at Valley High Lounge, Omaha, Nebraska. She got into a car with somebody from license plate Chicago, Illinois. Never heard from again. Her mother believed she had ran away from home and she'd come back in a few weeks, but she didn't. So the family reported her missing. 2 years before her disappearance, her name was listed on a federal search warrant as an informant, but they never searched the building. 12 years old at the time, she reportedly told authorities that dynamite machine guns were hidden in the headquarters of an Omaha group called the National Committee to Combat Fascism, which was an offshoot of the Black Panther Party. The ATF got a warrant to search the building. It never happened. In August of 1970, that's when she was 12 still, right? Yeah, someone lured police to an abandoned Omaha building where a suitcase full of dynamite exploded, killing a police officer and injuring another one. And then it says that two leaders of the National Committee to Combat Fascism were charged with the officer's murder, convicted, and sentenced to life in prison. And then it says even though the Nebraska parole board voted unanimously in favor of both men's release, that one of them died in prison and the other one's still incarcerated. So I don't know how accurate or true this information is, but it's an interesting read. And it says they maintained their innocence over the years, and they felt like they were framed, and people believe that, you know, there were lies, and I don't know. But so this is all alleged information. It's just information on the Charlie Project, and you can pause it and read it if you want to. But 12 years old, she was allegedly an informant for things like that. So I don't know if she ran away when she was 14 or what happened to her. It sounds like, it sounds like she didn't have a good, it doesn't sound like something you would want to raise your children in. And, we do the best we can as parents, but we make mistakes, and your children get older and they become adults, and I feel like it's important to apologize to your children for the mistakes that you made while you were raising them. Tell them, I love you, I made mistakes, and I just want you to know how sorry I am for the mistakes that I made. I feel like you should do that. That's just my personal opinion. Maybe you were a great parent. You don't feel like you need to apologize for anything. So if you don't, you don't. But some of us are far from perfect. We do the best we can with what we know, and we make mistakes. It's a learning process. But here's this young girl, 17 to 23 years old. Her family can't even scatter her ashes. They don't know what happened to her. So if you have any information about who this might be, please contact authorities, because that's so sad. And don't forget to pray for her family and her loved ones. And feel free to leave comments, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.